Okay, here for the showcase challenge. Opponent reveals Gahira, probably some sort of control deck. I think I'll keep this. It's a little bit loose against Gahira decks, but I think the hand itself is strong enough that I can't really mulligan something like this. There's a good chance we're gonna just like get spreading seized and then Teferi bounce our second Saga and everything's gonna be bad. Okay, no spreading seas. Do love to see that. I guess I'll lead on Amulet, because I think that's the one I'd rather get countered than Explore. Okay, Amulet resolves. So one of these sagas is likely going to get map for Cavern of Souls. Slayers is a bit of an awkward draw. I guess I should play Castle if I get a Summoner's Pact and my opponent is tapped out. I don't know why that would happen, but I might want to Colossus. It's not like I'm hasting a Titan into a Solitude deck anyway. Our next turn might just be make 2 constructs. Being on 1 Talari West is a little bit questionable against control. I guess I should show the list. This is the list I'm currently playing. It's the same one I recently posted on my Twitter. I've also recorded a league with this list where I've talked a bit more about the card choices and why I did them. So the second Talaria West is right now a Celestia Sanctuary. The thought being in like this list I'm trying to make Cultivator Colossus good. So Explore and Explores and Bounce lands make Colossus better. Opponent deep in the tank. Little do they know we have no gas. So does not particularly matter what they do. If they lead up counter magic or play a Teferi or whatever. Wouldn't be surprised to see Teferi bounce Saga, yeah. I mean, if we draw a Titan, we do get to Titan, which is nice. They're just going to bounce Saga. I don't know why they're even thinking about this. Okay, so I think the game plan for the immediate future is make some construct tokens to make it hard for our opponent to keep a planeswalker. They play a second Teferi. I suppose they'll be bouncing our Saga again. We will get to make a token, though. They bounced the Saga on 1, so they're letting us get a search in, which is probably a bad idea for them. They don't use the ending that is likely in their hand. I'm gonna get Amulet here because I don't want Expedition Map to get hit by ending. So I'll attack this Teferi. I guess they did plus the other Teferi. Okay. Still not drawing any threats. 5 mana Teferi would be pretty bad for us here. Okay, so I think the goal here in this board state is that we want to get our opponent to play a Supreme Verdict and then resolve Karn after Supreme Verdict. More long-term plans, we're going to Expedition Map into Cavern and use that Cavern to resolve a threat. Karn likely grabbing just Ballista. So our opponent can make a 3/3 Shark, but we can make our Construct a 4/4. If they do that, and block, and then resolve a Karn. So Shark Typhoon, not really scary. Hard casting Solitude, also not extremely scary. We just make another token, gain 4 life, and then resolve a Karn. Get Walking Ballista here. I'm fine with trading a Saga token for the Solitude. I don't really care about the Teferi anymore. I do care about that Teferi. But we got the Ballista, we're about to get Cavern. We could even attack an Amulet into 3 mana Teferi to keep it away from bouncing. So I want to be cracking map this turn, so I will make... I'll make mana. This game is definitely close. This might be activate Hall from them. Mana. Supreme Verdict, okay. That makes sense. It makes my Ballista come in smaller. Steel Amulet also makes sense. And Tuck Karn, okay. Well, I think I'll use this chance since I can to kill 5 mana to Fairy. See how our opponent feels about an Arboreal Grazer. Grazer resolves. Pick up cavern. Play the Slayers, I guess. Don't want to expose the cavern to a spreading seas. Opponent draws a card. Draws 2 cards. Okay. Not 100% sure what I want to get off this Primeval Titan. There's an argument for double Saga. There's also part of me that wants a bounce land to bounce the Cavernous Souls, or just like getting a second Cavernous Souls. Yeah, I don't care about that. Spreading Seas. I think maybe I'll get Talaria West plus Boros Garrison. My thought process here being my opponent has to be able to counter 2 spells if I do this, because I can transmute, play the Summoner's Pact, see if the Summoner's Pact resolves. If the Summoner's Pact resolves, I get a Titan. If the Summoner's Pact doesn't resolve, I get a Karn. I might even not grab Primeval Titan. I might grab Cultivator Colossus, attack with the Titan, and grab like 2 bounce lands, 1 bounce land bouncing the cavern. Because I think Colossus could kind of take this game home. Jace, okay. Jace is a good one. If the Karn resolves, we'll probably get Coding and like do like a little bit of a needle on it on the Jace. It's not exciting, but we don't have a ton of good things in our Karn board right now. Dryad's not a bad pickup. So I guess the first thing I should do is move to combat. Opponent tap draws. Okay. In this case, I'll try to Dryad and shoot down the Jace. Okay. Shoot down to Fairy. Karn. I think I'm actually going to pick up a Relic of Progenitus here just to get Ballista back into my deck. And I'm going to go ahead and resolve this Summoner's Pact for a Primeval Titan. We also got time equity here. Opponent's on 12 minutes. And this is game 1. Memory Deluge. Okay. Relic might actually get some value by exiling the Deluge. Oh. That's just good enough. Okay. So opponent needs to win 2 games in 12 minutes. That's a big task for a control deck. Maybe I'll keep the Radiant Fountain Cut of Saga, because they're a Spreading Seas deck. So just having my lands in play is kind of nice. I would really like another Cavern right now. Like, if I could cut one more Saga for a 4th Cavern right now, that would be great. But there's just not a 4th Cavern in my current sideboard configuration. I'll keep this. It's kind of weird, but if we get a green source, all these explorers will be nice. Okay, so Cavern here on Beast. I don't want to be hit by a Spreading Seas, and I'll play the map. I'm gonna probably hold off on the Saga for a minute. Guess I'll play the Saga here. I do want to be able to crack the map. If they like Spreading Seas or Teferi on their turn, I'll crack the map for a forest and then explore. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think this was always gonna be what happened. But we got Explorers now, so I think our plan is just to cast Explorers for a minute. Dryad's a nice pickup because we have the Cavern, so it's ramped. We can cast off Cavern. If our opponent decides to like Jace this turn, then I think we Karn. Yeah. Probably Karn, grab Ballista with Cavern on Nymph. So our opponent's going to draw a lot of cards, but we've got a lot of gas too. Next turn we're going to Dryad plus Explore, most likely. I mean, worst case scenario would be them playing a 5-mana Teferi. 4. Is this Omnath? Are they an Omnath deck? They seemed like blue-white before. Oh, this is Prismatic Ending on Karn. Yeah, that's fine. Karn did its job. It grabbed the Ballista. I just want to set up for this Colossus, because I think when we cast this Colossus off Cavern, we probably just win unless our opponent has, like, Aether Gust or Dress Down. If our opponent does a 5 mana Teferi and then tucks the Karn, I'll probably Dryad and then just Ballista on 1 to kill the 5 mana Teferi. Okay, so let's Gruul Turf, pick up Cavern, cast the Cavern, do this on Beast, cast and Explore, play the Valakut. Okay, so they're probably going to do something to answer the Dryad. I might not be casting Colossus this coming turn. I might want to just, like, Explore and maybe Ballista, just try and... Okay, this is fine, because we have a bounce land to bounce and replay that. So I think I'll lead on Ballista on 2. And if they counter this, I'll Dryad. Yeah. So they counter, so now I will just maybe I make my land drop before I Dryad, because I don't really care about the 3 damage, and they might be playing a removal spell. Then again, I kind of just want the Cavern in my hand anyway, so yeah, I'll just Dryad, try and shoot down this Jace if they will let me. Hit their face. And I want the Cavern in my hand, so if my opponent taps out, for example, I can cast the Colossus with more lands in hand this way. Spreading Seas on Valakut, that's fine. We have the Boros Garrison anyway. Yeah. I guess I'll lead on Explore. Hopefully this is just good enough to win me the game. Does resolve, so that's what we like to see. Okay. So I'll pick up the Valakut, pick up the Cavern on Beast so I can replay it on something else. and pick up a Celestia Sanctuary just to have a bounce land in hand. Alright, so yeah, I think this really showcased the power of Colossus in these control type matchups. Karn as well. Karn sort of created distractions for our opponent that they had to deal with. And then, so for example, they used a prismatic ending on the Karn, and then they used a counter spell on the Ballista, which let us resolve the Dryad. So, like, Karn sort of plays this sort of, like, make them respond to it, and then when they do respond to it, you just kill them with your Titan, or in this case, your Cultivated Colossus. Yeah, so, cool. I'll see everyone for round 2.